Good morning, Donnie. Well, it always brings me my coffee anyway. Right. This morning's was a slightly more challenging, but I have my coffee.
It only took 2 trips out to the Cybertruck to get her coffee made.
Well, I wasn't awake and my monk fruit was out there. And anyway, why was it 2?
Because I had to go back out and get the straw that I went out with.
Right. Anyway, I have coffee and we're on the move. We're going to go get breakfast.
We're gonna go try
it's a little after 7.
A little after 7.
Well, here's our trip for the day to Gateway Arch in St. Louis. And it has changed us to stop in Lexington, Kentucky instead of Frankfort. The Lexington's a 250 and Frankfort was a 325, but I don't guess it matters. But we might stop before Lexington because we're going to want to use the bathroom. Don and I have both had multiple cups of coffee now.
Yeah, because 2 hours and 20 minutes is
probably
going to be my limit.
Yeah,
we got full cup of coffee here.
Yeah, we'll see. We might stop sooner. We'll see.
It's not sunny.
It's not currently sunny, and it's going on 8:30 in the morning. So we got out of there pretty good. They had scrambled eggs and bacon at the breakfast. They did at least have hot plates, so that was good. I think God, that's easy for me to say this morning. I'm thinking there's some sort of a power plant over here too. Some big smokestacks off in the distance and some high voltage power lines there leading up to it. I don't know if we're going to get to really see it though.
Well, I think that there's several, Andy kind of said there's several sets of locks, and at every lock there's a hydro dam.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the trees are going to block the view here of whatever that was, so. Oh, well, we're interested in power infrastructure, so that's just one of those things. If we see it, we try to study it. We're in Nitro, West Virginia. Goodbye, Grok. And there's a Wars Museum here, and Nitro is really what you think, and it has roots back to World War I.
Right. The U.S. government built a explosive factory here. You know, using nitroglycerin, I guess, or whatever nitro that you use to make explosives.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it was a real blast back then.
It was a real blast back then. That's funny. Oh, well, there you can see what I was talking about. So we are going to get to see it.
Well, that's definitely a coal plant.
Oh, wow, it's nuclear. It's
coal. Those are cooling towers.
But they're not nuclear?
Not nuclear. Well, right. The steam cycle is what uses condensation. You have to cool the pressurized steam back down so you can heat it up again, and it goes through the cycle. So they have to cool it down. So even gas-fired, all thermal plants are going to use cooling type towers. But again, it's not dirty water. It's just evaporating. It's making clouds just like
the look I'm giving you is I had no clue you would ever see something that looked like the Sharon Harris cooling tower at anything but a nuclear plant.
Right.
That's the look I'm giving you. Is like, say what?
Yeah, the three skinny chimneys, those are where the smoke goes up from the burning of the, I assume, coal. It could be natural gas, but I doubt it. It's probably a coal plant.
Huh. Hey, Grok. Hey, Grok. Is there a coal-powered plant near Nitro, West Virginia?
Yes, the John E. Amos Power Plant in Winfield, West Virginia, is a large coal-fired plant just a short distance from Nitro along the Kanawha River.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest in the state.
Yeah, Winfield right here. So that's the one. Thank you, Grok. Goodbye.
Now, you know, I've never seen a coal-powered plant. Now, we have them in North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
I've just don't know that I've ever seen one.
Right. Well,
I don't even know where ours are in North Carolina, except that Duke got in big trouble due to coal ash.
Right. Well, I would obviously this West Virginia, Kentucky, Southern Ohio. You're in coal country right here. In fact, a great deal of the power in Illinois is nuclear, but what's not nuclear is coal.
Okay. Hey, Grok, how many coal-powered plants does North Carolina have, and where are they?
Yes, North Carolina has national parks like Great Smoky Mountains on the Tennessee
Grok,
border.
stop.
Cape Hatteras. Okay, stopping now.
I think what happened, Grok, I'm talking to my husband, is that I started talking too quick, and she missed the first part of it. So, Grok, how many coal-powered plants does North Carolina have, and where are they located?
North Carolina has 5 operating coal-fired power plants. They're the Belews Creek plant near Walnut Cove, Marshall near Terrell, Mayo near Roxborough, Roxborough in Samora, and James E. Rogers Energy Complex near Mooresboro.
Goodbye, Grok. Well, the only name I recognized in the entire thing was Roxborough. Goodbye, Grok.
And the one that Boers.
Well, they said Bowie's Creek, but then we're
no, it's a different. It's not Bowie's Creek. It's a French name.
Okay.
Barouz or something like that. They're gonna get. That's where Duke is gonna put a small. Or they're working towards putting a small modular reactor there. They're going through the process.
Okay. Well, I really didn't know where any of those places were. I mean, except for sort of in the vicinity of Roxborough. I know where that. We've been to Roxborough. I know where that is, but.
Yeah. I would actually tell you, I don't know where those are also, but I think a couple of those are in the Charlotte. They're more in the Charlotte area.
Right, but I grew up in the Charlotte area, and I still don't know where those places are. So, okay. So we've navigated to Chesapeake, Ohio, because we noticed that coming through Huntington, West Virginia, we were staying just south of the Ohio River.
Ohio River, that's right.
And even though Don and I have both been to Ohio before, Case hasn't, and why not cross the river and get a few views of the river this morning on our way into Kentucky?
Right, and it's no toll. Grok said there's no toll to cross the river, so it's a Sunday morning, so it'd be one thing if it was a work day and then this time of the day it might be real traffic, but there's I don't expect any traffic, so it's literally just the extra few miles is going to add to the trip, and it's probably less than 10
Yeah, we figure it's about a 30-minute detour, and since we did so good yesterday, we're not too worried about today.
Right.
All right, we're fixing to go over the Ohio River. I'm on video, and Don's on grab the picture of the bridge.
Right.
Yeah, I spent a week or two in Cleveland one time. All Ohio.
Wow.
I feel like I've come home, Donnie.
Probably want to get rid of the thing.
Okay. I feel like I've come home. All these bridges and all these rivers. It feels like I'm home up in New Jersey. The mountains, the rocks of Pennsylvania. I mean, it just feels... All right, so it's put us back going to Frankfurt now. Cool. It'll figure it out. There wasn't anything great to do in Chesapeake, we asked Rock. There's a golf driving range, and obviously we're not going to go start playing.
What's this brown down here?
Okay.
Fort County.
First county seat, 1816. It was a historical marker, but not a park marker.
Okay.
So we'll get back across the river here in a bit.
Yeah, I think we're going to do it.
I think it's just going to take us back across the same bridge, which is fine.
I'm a little surprised that it's taking us back across the same bridge. I mean, I agree with you 100%.
Well, it's just because it's the fastest way. We were originally going to come down here and then come back across, but that's not what it's doing now.
I understand.
Yeah, the map does not like it if you zoom out. It wants to zoom you right back in. All right, back over the bridge we go after a brief stop to do our polar steps in Ohio.
Well, I guess technically we didn't set foot in Ohio.
Pretty interesting. Yeah, the lady back in Marmette last night, she said, whatever you do, don't go get in the river. I wouldn't get in that water, was her exact words. You know, they don't have power plants and stuff where they don't monitor the water. But I'm sure in any industrial area, it's probably not where you want to go swimming. You go up on the mountain where that water comes down the mountain over the land a little bit and gets cleaned up on the way down.
Oh boy, we're heading to Ashland, Kentucky.
Yeah, so just to say, it switched us back to Frankfort, Kentucky for our stop, and at 10%. I don't know why it switched. I don't know if that is before or after Lexington, because we had 19% to Lexington or something, so I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The Frankfurt supercharger is a 325 kilowatt charger, is better for the Cybertruck anyway.
Well, you should see if you can find you a supercharger in Ohio.
Well, you know, that would have been a thing. I bet that would have been a ways away. Chesapeake was not the biggest.
You don't think they didn't have any?
I don't know. They might have. I'm just saying it's kind of like going to Willow Spring.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I tell you what, traveling along the river sure will get you some power plants and some industry.
Yeah. Well, this could be a refinery.
Yeah, there's the oil. Wow.
Yeah.
Are you not taking a picture for me out your window? There's some on this side too. Yeah, well, there was certainly some of this stuff in New Jersey too when you would head up toward New York City. So again.
Yeah, well, Ashland is an oil. Remember the Pennsylvania oil and all that stuff?
Yeah.
This is also part of that early days of the Rockefeller and all those oil early days.
Huh.
Valvoline is the oil brand that comes from Ashland. Now I'm sure it's changed, but back when I used to keep up with
well, we missed the fact that we're in Kentucky now.
Yeah, we're in Kentucky. That's what it said. We're good.
I didn't see the sign though. Well,
they didn't advertise it. I took a picture of the one of the tanks had Kentucky on it.
Yeah, because I mean we're over the well, it's not really the river, but the tributary that come down from the river, or maybe I don't know.
Well, we've been traveling an hour, and I've already been through 3 states. So
what have you been doing today?
What have you done today?
So we've seen at least one Y and one 3 on the interstate today.
Yeah, but we're not seeing no Cybertruck, so we're underrepresented.
I agree. Nor an S or an X. I don't think yet today, but
I've seen at least 2 Junipers and 2 Model 3s at least.
Yeah, that's too funny. Todd's fascinated with these buckle up, phone down signs Kentucky has on the side of the road, so much so that he had to lift up his phone and take a picture of it.
Yeah.
And I said, or just have FSD,
right,
which will allow you to use your phone a little bit while still encouraging you to keep your eyes on the road.
Right, exactly.
Well, I don't know. You better be careful. In some of these states, they're a lot more serious about your phone than they are in North Carolina. They're not very... The way the law's written in North Carolina, there's just not a whole lot they can do. We got laws about the phone, but it's not super enforceable.
Right.
And besides, we can't get them to enforce really important laws. So, ones like you got your phone in your hand is, not getting much attention.
Yeah.
You should not drive while distracted.
That's right.
But,
Well, I was only taking a picture.
I was going to say... Do what they say, not what I do.
That's correct.
But I'm not driving.
That's
just
right.
because I'm over here editing. I'm not driving, okay? I'm editing.
Yeah, but you refuse to take a picture of phone down.
You're right. I ain't advertising that mess.
My girl, she don't put her phone down. No.
Well, if it's down, it's in my back pocket or my side pocket.
Right.
Yeah,
it's plugged into the charger.
Or plugged into the charger, although I'm not having as much trouble with it now that we got the battery replaced. Yeah. That was just too much having to set it down for me. Yeah. It's still really pretty here. I'm enjoying the trees while we've got them because Adam assures me we're going to get to a part on this trip where there's no trees and it's just flat.
Just flat.
Then I told him I remembered, well, there are sections like that driving I-40.
That's right.
And I remember them vividly, and that's not with a fondness either. The Texas, going across Texas and, I don't know, it was Oklahoma?
It was Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is like I-40 goes on. It's like driving from one end of North Carolina to the other, which no sane North Carolinian would pretty much ever do. Because it's so stinking far. It's over 600 miles, I think, east to west.
Yeah, it's 500. Yeah, over 500.
It's a lot. It's almost like driving from North Carolina to New Jersey to go from the Outer Banks to the mountains of North Carolina. It's an insane distance that I want no part of. Well, you need to change states so you feel like you're getting somewhere.
Yeah, California and Texas, I guess, they have North Carolina and maybe Florida, but that's probably the only states you could drive. North Carolina, you could drive further to North Carolina without crossing the state line.
Yeah.
Texas has got 809. When you go on I-10 into Texas, it says 800. The mile markers are in Texas start at 890, and so you exit.
Oh my God! Just
El
don't
Paso,
do that. Yeah,
they go down from 890.
Yeah. Well, I've been in the car from San Francisco to LA. And that ain't no short haul either.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we drove in 79. We drove out to California on I-40. So I've been back and forth on I-40 a couple of times.
Sure.
Once with you coming back from Phoenix after 9/11, and once with my parents when we went on that month road trip.
Yeah.
And then after we got to Barstow, you know, at the end of I-40, we did go into Los Angeles, and then my mom, we didn't have a plan. We just picked a hotel every night. So that's why it seems totally okay with me to like just figure out where we're spending the night wherever we stop. But
I remember traveling with my mom that we would pull off, and you know, you remember the no vacancy signs?
Oh yeah,
all that stuff.
Yeah, before it was high tech.
You'd
have she send you in to ask if they had.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was too young for that as a girl at 10, but you know, Dad wouldn't have sent me in to do that. But Dad would pull up and go in and ask or whatever. Yeah. Usually a day 6, but it had to have a pool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we swam almost every night on the if we could.
Yeah.
Even in Needles, Arizona, where it was 114 degrees that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pool was like a sauna.
Yeah,
but we still got in it. But what was I going to say? I was, Mom wanted to go. So we just decided we'd go to San Francisco while we were in California.
Oh,
Dad wanted to take us to the Air Force Base where he was stationed in either 61 or 62. You know, he went out, he was in the Air Force, and he went over to Turkey as a ham radio operator, but he did spend some time coming and going in San Francisco up there. I don't remember the name. Edwards? I don't remember, but up near San Francisco, and
that's Fort Ord's up there, but that's like a Marine station.
I don't know exactly. I think the one when we got there it was already closed, or parts of it had already closed down. But anyway, so we went to Merwoods, and my mother went to Christian Brothers Winery, so she could. She always liked their sip on their brandy on special occasions, and then we trekked back across some of the most beautiful agricultural fields. Some of them had flowers. It was really pretty. But anyway, California is a north-south is like North Carolina east-west. I'm like, God, how far is San Francisco? Yeah.
Are we there yet?
Every kid, though, I think needs to experience the boredom of sitting in the back of the vehicle for days on end on a road trip. It's just sort of a rite of passage of tagging along with your parents to go wherever they want to take you.
Now they just comatose on the phone all day, so it's like, you know.
I had my Panasonic cassette recorder, and we listened to Hall & Oates, You Making My Dreams Come True, several hundred times, and plus whatever other songs I had recorded off the America's Top 40 so that I could have with me on demand in the back of the car. I do believe Dad had to replace those 8D cells several times on the trip.
I bet.
Poor Dad. He was a great guy.
Yeah.
So we're on the north side of Lexington going around, and it looks like it has an inner and an outer loop like Raleigh, except the outer loop is not totally complete, also like Raleigh. And Frankfurt is past Lexington, and we're showing arrival at 12%, which is fine. So I guess for a little while, either due to usage or percentage arrival, the car was going to make a stop in Lexington, but now we're back on for Frankfurt.
Yeah, the last time I was in Louisville, here in Lexington, that was a long time ago. That was in the early 90s. IBM used to have a plant, a site in Lexington. They made printers, Lexmark. You remember Lexmark printers?
Yeah, those are from Lexington.
That's right. When it was IBM, they were IBM printers, but then they sold off the printer stuff. They called it Lexmark, and that's why part of the reason why it was called Lexmark was because it was in Lexington. Anyway, but that was in the early 90s. I came here for several projects over a couple week period, and then I did some work at
now why for Infoman would you need to go to printer?
Right, there was there was a service desk tool that they were thinking about evaluating that it was not developed in Raleigh. It was going to go to Raleigh or something, and I went there to learn about it.
Okay.
And
I don't remember that.
I'm trying to remember the product. Anyway, it never saw the light of day.
Right. Well, sometimes those things are hush hush. It just depends.
That's right.
Need to know.
Need to know, right. And
so I might not have known, because I was pretty new in the early 90s at IBM. I didn't have any seniority then.
Right. And yeah, that's really weird. Anyway, the point is, that was, so I came up here and then Wally sent me up here.
For Stream Foundry?
Yeah. I came up here and did some work. I'm trying to think who and what I did that work.
We've been going down memory lane here in the car, and also with our friends whose house we're headed to in Colorado, about where we've been and what states we're missing and fun stuff like that this morning.
Right. I was with, okay, so now it's coming up now. You said a couple things. It wasn't the early 90s. It was, well, now I'm thinking, what I'm trying to get at, that thing had something to do with the Y2K.
Okay. I was going to say, my recollections of Don traveling while I worked with him, because every time he left, I had to be him and me, and I was really irritated. I like Don doing his crap and me doing my crap. I didn't like doing Don's crap, okay? And then he had the nerve to go into services around Y2K, and I permanently took over his crap, which really wasn't too bad. But yeah, I have recollections of you at NYPD in New York, because that was right before 911, and you were irritated about being in New York City.
Yeah, I did.
Although you were traveling with Mike Cyan, and you really liked Mike, and I don't think it was that bad, but Don did make a few comments to the Jersey girl about being up in that part of the world and how horrible it was.
Out of my element.
Yeah, he was Alabama boy in New York City. It was just, not a match made in heaven. And then you spent a lot of time at Visa in San Francisco, and I remember the Visa account. And when you were in Scotland. For a long time, you did this. This wasn't that long. It seemed to me that was forever that you were in Scotland.
Clyde Bank and Scottish and Southern Energy.
Yeah, you were over there a while, but you liked that. You were happy over there. I wasn't happy you were over there, but you were happy you were over there. You thought it was great.
Right.
And who'd you work for in England that your buddy took you around over to Wales and stuff? Bob Watling. Yeah. What were you doing over there, though? What customer was that?
Bob was Scottish. Well, he was
the guy for the Scottish. Okay.
Yeah, he was IBM, and he was a systems engineer, and basically he took me around to customers who might be interested in our product, and I set up proof of concepts at 2 places. And I taught a class one time.
Right, and got to stay at Bob's house in Wales and had a grand time with Bob.
A grand time, yes. Yeah. Him and Julie.
Yeah, yes. Steve, I think it was, Chris, the IBMer that took me and Robin, my manager, around, had us spend the night in a castle. One time. I don't remember. I have a picture of me and my gargantuan suitcase that I tore it all. This was before the airlines put restrictions in on weight. So you could get away with any size suitcase, and trust me, I had the suitcase. Well, we went to the Royal Opera in London. I had to have a dress and fancy stuff, and I had to have suits to go into the customer accounts, and girls need stuff. But yeah, I packed like I was on an American vacation with a car that I went to Europe with on business with Robin, and it was, Chris helped me with my bag a few times.
Right.
But spending the night in the castle was kind of cool. Yeah. Looking out over I guess it was a golf course, but the scenic grounds around the castle, that was pretty neat. But anyway, I guess if you're going to do these things, then you should at some point take time to remember the good times you had doing them. Right. And that's kind of what we were doing today. Right. But yeah, don't travel far away anymore, because I never was really happy with you. You either had hurricanes or snow or, some customer disaster.
I always chose the right time to go.
Well, that depends on your point of view. Oh, I am hot now. It disabled my Starlink outlet because we're in low power mode at 46 miles left. How much, really, seriously, how much power do you think Starlink is taking?
Really? So,
and it won't let me override it?
No.
It won't let me override it. I want it on. I don't care about low power mode.
Oops.
Dawn doesn't like it when I get upset.
No,
Dawn would like to turn the outlet back on for me. But I'm like, I'm talking to Sam on my computer, who everything's going fine at the house, and I'm video editing. And my computer's now offline. Starlink didn't even hiccup one time this morning. Not one time.
So, we have that battery, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it's got a 12 volt
it's
output.
okay. I'll get it after the supercharger.
Right,
but gosh darn it.
But this is an interesting thing. So, Adam, who is our guy who's really helped Mary and I with Starlink, he's been always ahead of the game on it. And his Cybertruck, the USB could run the Mini.
Yeah.
His USB, but now they've done something and it doesn't do that anymore.
Everything is just easier for Adam.
Right.
Or we're doing something wrong, one of the two. But
right, either or.
so we're really here at the supercharger. I guess I can breathe now,
yeah.
Because wow, they got them a new Target just like the one in Fuquay. It's very similar to design of the one they just put up in Fuquay.
Way cool. Well, anyway.
Okay, let me see the navigation again.
Yeah, because we're really close.
0.5 miles, so.
Yeah, so you for the last 5 minutes you were in trouble.
Okay,
Well, anyway.
calm down since I was getting out of the car anyway.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I will be getting out of the car so you get it plugged in quick. Oh,
what?
No, it's not. I was going to say, there's a Walmart up there. I haven't been, it is a Walmart. I haven't been in a Walmart on this trip yet. I told Donnie, I was like,
I'll go drop you off and go plug in. It's up to you, sweetie. We're going that way.
Yeah,
I
think this charger is in by the Walmart. So here they are. They're not in the Walmart parking lot. They're at this is Frisch's Big Boy, but they're in the Sony's Big Boy parking lot. So, yeah.
All right, let's see I don't want to get an intervention.
Yeah, you're up to 190 miles.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be okay here. Oh, don't hit the pedestal.
All right.
Yeah, they have one of these in Eaterville, one of the from the old Shoney's restaurants that we've seen recently. Kind of cool.
Yeah, but I don't know which came first, Shoney's or Finch's. It says since 1932.
I never heard that name before, but I have not been in Kentucky since the 70s.
Right.
We're walking over to the Walgreens. Don wants Windex, but you know what? Maybe we should get Windex in the Dollar Tree. Let's get Windex at the Dollar Tree.
Did they sell Windex at the Dollar Tree?
They got lots of household supplies at the Dollar Tree.
We're going to the Dollar Tree, and we're only going to pay $1 for a bottle of Windex.
Well, nothing's $1 anymore at Dollar Tree, just so you know.
I wouldn't know. I don't know when the
COVID done. That ship's done sailed. Matter of fact, they do a great job of hiding now exactly how much more than $1. I will say there's nothing more than $5 in there. We figured it would be good for us to go on a short walk anyway. And we do have almost a full empty, an entire empty storage bin in the back. Yeah. So there is room to bring stuff home. So the gentleman and his daughter walking away over there. They brought the Tesla yesterday. They have a Chevy Equinox, but they were able to pick this up. It's got 94,000 miles on it and every extra on the planet. They're really nice people. He wants a Cybertruck. I showed them the Starlink and the daughter was like, "You've got internet on the road?" She was so excited. I have some 3D printed articulated flower things with me that I had not left at the 2 superchargers yesterday because I forgot. But when I saw her, sometimes people won't take something they found. They don't know who touched it last. But I gave her one and she lit up and that kind of made my day.
Yeah, that's right.
So
we're
almost up to...
Yeah, so we're ready to go.
Yeah. I think we're plenty fine to make it to the next stop.
35%. We're good. Okay.
Yeah, we're at 14 minutes to charge limit, and it removes the you can continue your trip and puts that up at some point. So it tells us how much we paid on this screen, but when it's not currently charging, it doesn't show you what the charge was. So let me...
35 bucks.
The price per kilowatt hour is what I'm interested in.
Right, price per kilowatt.
Yeah, 39 cents here. So we're, you know, oh, Louisville, you didn't want to stop in Louisville. That was going to be 45 cents. Aren't you glad we made it to Frankfurt?
Yeah, baby. Woo!
And so the next stop for us is, I can't say that name. Hobstadt, Indiana?
Yeah, it looks good enough for me.
It says Hobstadt, Indiana, Mach 1. That must be the name of the gas station. We're supposed to get there at 35%. I wasn't trying to do that. I just 41 cents a kilowatt hour. It's got 8 stalls and it's a 250.
Okay.
But that's where it wants us to stop next. And then we're just going to the arch, but I'm sure there's places to supercharge, but that's a 10%, so we might want to bump that up a little bit or figure out what other charging stop we're going to make today.
That is correct.
Closer to our destination.
That is correct.
All right, well, we're ready to go. Don has the windshield clean. I was running my mouth talking Tesla.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I make it a point to talk to people at superchargers. Oh, no.
Well,
because my seatbelt wasn't on?
No, I thought it did the seat funny. Oh, never mind. It's all right, sweet pea.
It's okay.
Oh, well.
We're back at 0. So these guys that go in cross country, I got to tell you, that last 0.5% or 1% of the driving, that's really hard not to mess up.
Right.
Because we've sort of tried.
Right. Well, I didn't want to be in Marianne's profile, and I swear I saw something that made me think, oh my God, I'm in Marianne's profile.
Happened on this trip a couple of times already.
So I instantly jumped to fix that without thinking of the consequence. Because literally the way to fix that is you've got to navigate to some place really close, like Harbor Freight, and let it park, and then you can change your profile, and then you can continue your trip. Because if you do, you're going to break your streak if you don't let it get to where it wants to go.
All right, well, you remember that for the next time.
Yeah, that was all.
Get it straight now.
That was all.
I also was not buckled in, but that's beside the point. I have a tendency not to buckle until I'm done filming. And Don is supposed to sort of wait until I'm done filming, but he's having trouble being trained on that too. No. That gonna get you in trouble, boy.
Well, I don't know. Oh, is it gonna go?
I don't know where we're going. An interesting way, maybe. I don't know where it's taking us, but anyway.
You want to go to Lowe's?
No.
You're gonna have to. We could see. That's how I would have saved it. I would have took her to Lowe's and it got my streak.
Right, or the Walmart or someplace. Yes,
Yeah,
I guess
right turn only.
Well, you know. Oh, I think it's going to make a left turn here, Donnie. It doesn't know about the cement.
Okay.
You're going to have to take. Well, you could see it start to turn left, and then you're going to have to take over.
Yeah.
It is going to make a mistake here.
No.
Is it gonna switch?
There's somebody behind.
There's nobody behind you. So we're sort of stuck in. Oh, it figured out it can't go over the cement barricade. It turned to the right. So Don handles this really complicated non-intervention, but he messes up the change of the profile thing.
Well, the thing was there was nobody behind me.
So you weren't feeling pressured.
I wasn't feeling the pressure to people like get them. You know what?
Hey, there's a Steak and Shake.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go buy the Steak and Shake. Apparently,
maybe.
Again, I've already had 3 opportunities to fix my mistake.
Well, isn't Steak and Shake the folks that have tallow fries and grass-fed beef burgers now? And
that's it.
I know I'm sort of starting to get hungry for a burger. Maybe we can find a Steak and Shake in Indiana or St. Louis or something, because we don't have them near the house. I don't know if we have any in North Carolina, but we certainly don't have any in any of the shopping centers I go to. Well, we're almost over to the Walmart. So what we've done is we've made a U-turn through the Steak and Shake parking lot.
That's right.
Yes. Well, that's too bad we couldn't go in there and make those people's day with the Cybertruck coming to visit them here.
Well, I guess the thing is, it would have been better if it went up and gone around the hotel and come out of.
Yeah, Lord only knows that it got itself into trouble trying to be efficient.
Yeah,
It sees the green arrow and it's going to go.
Okay.
So now I know that it really probably won't go over the cement barricades, and I just need to give it a chance to figure out it's an error.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was good to know. So we're going to scoot along the Ohio River here for a bit on I-64.
I-64.
Yeah, west side of Louisville, Kentucky, and then we'll be crossing over shortly into Indiana, and at that point we cross the Ohio River.
Yeah.
Looks like we cross it near New Albany. Jeffersonville is just on the other side of the river. But we're close to coming into Indiana.
Yeah, I-65 southbound is closed. Well, I guess technically northbound. I-65 apparently is closed south of here. We're not going to be on I-65. It goes to Indianapolis, and the reason I know about I-65, I grew up in Montgomery, Alabama, and I-65 goes through Montgomery.
Oh, okay.
So it sort of, rings a bell with me. I don't know why it's closed, but it's closed until the end of July.
Huh.
I've seen several signs to say it's basically closed the 1st of June to the end of July. I was going to ask Rob what's going on.
Yeah, but they've certainly got a lot of signage talking about the closure. Oh, look at that bridge. I like it. That's just like the bridge is going over the Delaware. It just,
Well, the Ohio is a real river. I mean, it's big. It's
Lynn Family Stadium over there to your left, whatever that is. Do we know who plays there?
Louisville Cardinals, the college team.
I don't know. We're not going over either one of these fancy bridges, darn it.
Right, that's going across the Ohio right now.
Right now. Well, we are eventually going to go across it, just not on that bridge.
That's 65 northbound is what that is.
Okay.
And the other bridge is 65 southbound, but it eventually is closed south of here somewhere.
Well, this is a great U.S. history lesson for kids because, there's always this discussion about how cities grew up around water. Commerce, taking stuff down the river and stuff like that. And I mean, this really brings that home.
Yeah, well, the Ohio goes down and joins the Mississippi, if I remember correctly. So you could navigate all the way from New Orleans all the way up to here, no problem, if you in a steam paddle boat.
Wow. How cool is all of that, Donnie?
Yeah, I would say that's the Louisville Cardinals. So that's what's going on here. They're big.
There's a nice riverboat down there giving tourists it's a touristy spot to go out on the river.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Sunday is unbeknownst to us, we made this excellent choice to come through here on Sunday. I can't even imagine what rush hour traffic would be like here on a Monday morning instead. That is some sort of a large crane, right? I forget what you call that.
A drawbridge, I think.
A drawbridge?
Yeah, for a train. It looks like it's being worked on, but I think that's a drawbridge, and they just have it up right now.
Yeah. Hey, Grok. How far are we from the Indiana state line?
Yes, Louisville is about 30 miles south of the Indiana state line, across the Ohio River. We're comfortably far from it.
I think 3 miles.
I think she's wrong. But
No,
thanks.
The Ohio River.
Goodbye, Grok.
You're welcome.
Well, she may not have known exactly the car's locate. That's sort of what I was testing, is does she know where I am at this split second that she can tell me something like that? Because I guarantee you we're a lot closer than 30 miles. Either over the river we're closer, or straight ahead crossing the river we're closer. We're closer.
So I guess this is what you do. You come down to 264, go south on 264, I guess, and it's eventually, I guess, joins back up to 65 somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. We can't, like you said, we're under 3 miles or something.
We're in the lane that says 64 west, so we're in the right lane, the correct lane according to the markings on the actual pavement.
That might be the bridge we're going to take.
Probably is.
I think that probably. God, look at all of the bridges.
That's a serious bridge too.
That is so cool. I guess we found out I really love bridges. I mean, I sort of already knew that. Although I got to tell you, there's this one when I took the boys to the Outer Banks by myself and drove the van over it. It was really high, and I just had to look straight ahead.
Wow.
I put on my big girl panties and I got across the bridge, but I was basically terrified the entire time to be up there. I'm not terrified to go up to the top of the Empire State Building and be out on the observation deck. And I've been up to the top of the Sears Tower in Chicago, and I've been in a couple other really high places. They're enclosed, or they have a handrail, or there's, you know, I've been to the top of Statue of Liberty. That's actually not very tall, but I didn't like driving over the bridge with the water off to the side at all.
Oh, here's your bridge.
Here's the bridge.
So I guess it's a double-decker bridge the other direction.
I couldn't get my shot, Donnie, and you weren't taking your picture.
God, I'm sorry.
You didn't take your picture. I was doing my best with both hands, but yeah, New Albany is just, I knew was just on the other side of the bridge.
All right, here it is.
Here it is.
Indiana, baby.
So we're taking a detour to Marengo Cave, U.S. National Landmark. The only time I've been in the caves with you and the boys, right? We went to the mountains.
Yep.
We went, that was,
cave.
yeah, we went to,
Living
this the one that starts with an L. Lauren, oh God.
Yeah, well.
It's one of those famous North Carolina mountain cave things, and we did go down in it with the boys. That was the third trip we took. We went tubing with them, and we took them down into the caves.
That's right.
And we stayed somewhere up there, but it was really all about the tubing.
That's right.
I like to go tubing. Tubing is my cup of tea. I like tubing. Especially if the water's right and the flow is good. But you know, tubing is, it's kind of like eating real food. You get a different experience every time you go, because high and low water and how sunny it is and all that good stuff. Anyway, we missed another cave thing back there. It was going to be 12 miles to the next exit and 12 miles to turn around, and Don saw this cave, and I told Grok right away to navigate to it, because we can always get back on if we changed our mind after we got more information.
Yeah, this is the other one was going to be 12 miles to the exit where we could turn around, then at least 12 miles back to the exit for the,
and then down to the cave, which was like maybe 5 more miles each way, down and back.
And then you got to get 12 miles back. In other words, it was literally going to be 36 mile.
Yeah, it was too much. But this one we didn't miss the exit, so it's
20 miles.
Yeah, 10 miles up and 10 miles down. But we are coming back the same way, right? I think we just make a little loop around the cave mountain up here or something. Right. So we'll see what it looks like when we get down here. We figured we'd do something today. We were looking for something to do today to break up the drive, and we don't need to get to St. Louis super early.
Right.
There's no benefit to us. We don't want to pull in at 11 o'clock tonight, but we also don't need to be there at 4:30 this afternoon.
Yeah.
We can get checked in after 3, but we don't have to be there then. Well, how fast is Grok going? Grok is going 50 and a 45. Okay, not too bad. We're in standard. Most of the trip's been in standard.
Right.
But anyway, Don's streak is currently still preserved. I don't know if we can keep it up again. I mean, we're at like 99.5% FSD. It's just that we absolutely cannot say it's been an intervention-free trip or day.
Right, but the other than the concrete thing back then, well, it actually
handled that. We just paused a long time.
We've not had any interventions due to it's not driving safely, or
well, we didn't yesterday.
Right, we didn't either. All the interventions have been navigation, parking, not
wrong profile.
Yeah, wrong profile. Literally nothing to do with driving.
Yep. Well, we're here, but it didn't know where to park back there, so it's kind of taken us on some loop thing again. We kind of passed the gift shop and the place to park for the caves, and now it's just driving us around.
Yeah.
Don didn't want to take over, so we're going in circles.
So I guess it doesn't matter. Next, I'm not going to let it go in a circle. It's going to take us back around one more time.
And then you're going to stop it.
And then I'm going to take control. But I didn't know what it was going to do. It doesn't. This is what I think I've said, is that it doesn't give you any indication of what it's trying to do. Like let a car out, for example, let a car merge. It doesn't tell you any of that information. So you're just like you might as well be blind. You're dumb, so.
Right, well, it does currently say park.
Right.
And we want to say parking lot.
Well, we've done that before.
And it didn't help last time, but that's okay. Yeah, I can try it again this time.
Yeah, well, we just came up from that.
Yeah, we just went past the Dollar General.
Right.
And I was going to say Dollar General reminds me of North Carolina and state highway signs in white, but the way these are, well, they're not quite shaped like New Jersey, but they're closer than the North Carolina ones. Caught my attention.
Right.
We have no limited signal to use Grok on the truck here because I haven't switched the truck to use Starlink, but Starlink is still mostly working on my phone, except, I mean, it's been flawless today out on the highway, like flawless playing back my video. But now that we're turning every 5 seconds and under a bunch of trees, I'm sure it'll hiccup too.
Right.
We're here. We heard an announcement about the tour starting, so I got us secure at the truck, and Don went in to see if he could get tickets. So I'm familiar with Reed Gold Mine in North Carolina, which is kind of somewhere soundly in the middle of the state between, I don't know, north of Charlotte, I guess. North of Monroe. Anyway, these guys are panning for minerals down here. Don called it a sluicey.
That's a sluice.
A sluice.
The thing that the water goes down.
Yeah.
To the sluice. I guess you're sluicing.
Okay. I do have some playground stuff. A place to take a picture, a maze, this climbing thing. We're booked on the Crystal Palace tour in about 10 minutes. It's there's a walk involved. It's about a 40-minute tour. They have one other one, I can't remember the name of it. It's a little deeper in the cave and a mile, but not as crystally. I don't know. This is like, front porch at Cracker Barrel. So what's the secret? You'll let me know when you figure it out.
This is like a good time.
It asks, are you hooked? Hooked on the ring game.
I guess the technical way of doing it is something like that.
I don't know, engineer, figure it out.
I'm trying.
Oh my God!
Videoing.
He really did hook it, but I quit videoing. I thought he was gonna be here for a while.
It took me like 20 tries.
It wasn't too many.
Yeah,
you were pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, I'll just watch it. Now you'll never be able to do it again, but who knows?
Beginner's absolute luck. Anyway.
He really did do it. Like 3 tries after I quit filming. Poor Donnie.
That's all right, sweetie. You don't. Trust me. I'm quitting winners. I'm just gonna stop.
Okay.
Because I may have to do it 500 times to do it again.
On there with you guys. So no food or drink is allowed inside of the cave. If you guys have anything, including gum, I'll have you throw it away over here. And that's just so we don't litter in there. Thank you guys. Is that already open? I don't want you to throw that away. Do you?
I'll get another one. It's $1.
Oh,
It's
okay. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay. Photos are allowed on my tour, but videos are not. And that's just for your own safety to protect the privacy.
We just finished our tour. We're fixing to get back in case. It's like 52 degrees down there.
We're glad we had our jacket.
Yeah, it says, 52 degrees is the constant cave temperature. So we did get our jackets, which thankfully we had because we're expecting Pikes Peak in Colorado to be cooler. What year did the two boys find it?
1882.
Yeah. And,
Actually, I think it was a girl and a boy.
okay.
15-year-old girl and an 11-year-old boy.
They agreed to keep it secret, and that lasted for 3 days until they were at church and they told the landowner they'd found it. And then within 10 days, he was given tours.
That's right.
It was not the first cave discovered, and he kind of knew that caves would be lucrative.
Right.
He had something.
25 cents a tour.
Yeah, it's well lit down there. Although I wonder if, you know, they turn off the lights all the time. I wonder if after you go through a section, I wonder if the lights actually affect the formation, and that's why is it a money saving thing? Is it a money saving thing, or does it keep them healthier?
Oh, so the cave lights turn off to protect the cave light.
Okay.
So a lot of the bugs and fish that can live down there, they're photosensitive.
Okay.
So if we left the lights on 24/7, it would poison them all.
Okay.
They have no pigment in their skin to protect them from light.
Okay, so there are critters down there, even though it seemed critter free.
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. I wondered. I asked Carla everything else, but I forgot that.
Understood.
Makes total sense.
Anyway, that's really good information. It was a nice, you know, it's supposed to be 40 minutes, and it seemed like it was, and we had a good time. I think we would do it over again if we had the opportunity, and nice little diversion. I noticed earlier around the corner over here, there's a thing on the wall that says how many caves are there in Indiana, and it's probably a little bit down here. It's a little bit how you count, I'm sure, but on the other hand, I'm thinking there's a good number. We remembered it's called Linville Caverns in North Carolina. We're going to say we thought these caverns were better. 2007, 3,102 known caves. All right. And how long is it? I think she says like 5 miles.
Yeah.
4.6 miles. So we were only in a very short wave in comparison. As to how far the cave goes. The other tour goes in the other direction, is a little longer. Where did the name come from? This town is named after the Battle of Marengo, which was fought by Napoleon against the Austrians near the town of Marengo, Italy in 1800. Napoleon's victory brought peace on favorable terms to the French. And how many light bulbs are there in there? There are 723 light bulbs, it says. And how many people have toured the cave? Changing daily. Between 2 and 2.5 million people since 1883. Early records no longer exist, so the exact number cannot be determined. Obviously, they know how many people actually go in. And I think this is the Dripstone Trail Tour, which was not the one we took. We took the Crystal Palace Tour, but it shows you what you do on that tour. And she pointed at us in there where the original entrance was.
Yeah, this is that Mirror Lake.
That's the Mirror Lake, right?
And we went
this is
down
right.
This
is our tour went this way, and the Dripstone tour goes this way. But she pointed out in there you could see some light coming through, and they'd added a blue light bulb.
Yeah.
The exact entrance where the kids originally went in, with only a couple candles.
Couple candles.
That's all they had. She did a where's Donnie? She did a lights out demonstration in there. Yeah, first with just a candle.
One candle.
And then one candle power. And then she turned out the candle, and we all made sure our phones were, 3 of us had our phones still making a little light because we were taking pictures and we didn't know. So we fixed that, and it was dark.
If you wave your hand in front of your face, you could not You couldn't
Yep,
see,
it was dark.
detect anything.
Well, for me, you kind of had movement in your eye, but it's that fake in the dark sort of movement.
Yeah.
Like your eye's trying to adjust, but there's nothing to adjust to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. 25A, we're getting off at 25A for the Hubstadt, Indiana supercharger, but it's actually just north of Evansville. And everything is acting like this is Evansville here. There's a Holiday Inn Express, Evansville, right next to the supercharger, apparently. We've got 87 miles. We're not particularly low on charge.
Right.
This is a 250 kilowatt charger. We can make it to Gateway Arch National Park without stopping again. There is a supercharger I checked 3.4 miles from the Arch in our hotel. So we don't want to show up with nothing, but we can also charge after we get to town. Obviously, St. Louis is going to have chargers. So it's over here by this building. That's the Holiday Inn Express.
I see it. Yeah. I mean, I see the Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah, I haven't seen a supercharger pedestal yet, but
Well, it looks like it's actually on the other side of the hotel, based by the map. It says there's 3 available, so it's a pretty busy supercharger.
huh. I wonder.
Well, they are.
Oh, it's actually here at the marathon. Okay, well that's better for
Yeah.
bathroom usage
All
and
that
stuff.
It says do not enter.
Straight ahead, I'm thinking,
Right,
not
that's
the turn here. That is kind of confusing, though.
That was a little confusing.
Belongs on the other side, on the right, not on the left. Making use of the same pole.
Well, I'm not going to worry too much about, because I'm gone for 77 miles. So my
Well, let's
streaking.
see what it does, though. See what it does.
Oh boy, we
We got a Rivian here. Got 3 Rivians here. Well, that actually might make it hard for us to park.
I'm hoping one's down.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah,
hit
we're gonna
1A
be fine on the end.
before some other Teslas.
And Don's parking, so I don't need to film Don parking. So they weren't all together. The plate on the right's Kentucky, the plate on the left's Indiana, and one of the Rivians has already left. It was just coincidence. Hey, they got evergreen flags. Don's scared. He's shaking in his boots.
These would be full price, 17 bucks, 16 bucks.
Yeah, that's why we buy them at Guardian Angel. And they got the little rug things here too. Although at $10 a piece, that's a good price for those. More than GA, less than Amazon. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Okay, don't be too mad at me now. But I didn't like being outnumbered at that supercharger.
Right.
And it wasn't the Rivians. A Kia, I think the one that ends in a 9, the really long, big SUV came in. And then a Lucid Gravity came in.
Gravity, yeah.
And, well, there was a Model X, a Juniper, and another 3 down on the end. But there was just, when it gets like that and everybody's not the parking is a little weird, it just was a little...
Right, I took control because I scanned it, and as Marianne said, I don't know which stall would be the correct one to get in when there were 3 non-Teslas, and I have no idea how many stalls they were...
Which one they're attached to and that kind of a thing. Yeah, and then the one Rivian had all 4 doors open, like, don't park next to me.
Right.
Maybe they were just really doing something at their car, in all honesty. But I didn't see any people and all the doors were open. I'm like, do you not want to close the doors so maybe if that stall next to you is open, someone could use it?
Right. So what I did, I immediately spotted down at the end, there were like 2 empty stalls.
Right.
So I knew immediately that one of those was going to work. And so I just took control and immediately went down there before some other EV, because there was only 3 open stalls.
Yeah, well, that was a really nice
It was.
gas station. It was really clean. The staff was nice. They had fun stuff. They had a good choice of stuff you would want.
Yep.
But I think the supercharger stall area had really small stalls on top of there only being 8 of them.
Yeah.
and there was all that land out there. I mean, there's nothing but land here, okay? We are finally getting to more fields and less trees, okay? Not, you know, I mean, you can like see you can see into the distance now, okay? And with all that land, maybe we could have just spread out the you know, I value at a supercharger station wide stalls. If I can barely get out of my car because you're charging next to me, I'm not happy with that supercharger station. So Tesla, hear me now. But anyway, Don had a little fun in the store. We talked about me driving, but Don and I were both drifting off, like really tired coming into that stop. And I told him, I'm a little more alert now, but I feel like I'm going to drive 15 miles down the road and I'll be nodding off. So I don't, it's not good. Let's try to keep each other awake, basically.
So since we're not pushed for time, we asked if there was any nearby parks. So what I was going to do is we just go park in the shade and
if there was any shade. We're not used to places with no trees.
No trees, that's right. Yeah, this is big solar country out here, I guess.
Yeah, so it was like 11 or 13 miles away for the closest park. Well, that's because Evansville is really south of where we were at that location, and the parks are in Evansville. So we didn't do that. If there'd been shade, we would have just pulled over and napped for 30 minutes or something, because we're getting into St. Louis at 6 o'clock, and we're not worried about rush hour on Sunday, and we didn't really need to get there sooner. But anyway, we'll try to keep each other awake. I'll try to stay awake. Don will try to stay awake. Well, you better stay awake because you're still behind the wheel. Don was gonna plug in a rest area, the next rest area, and apparently it's closed, and Grok had trouble because we don't want to disengage, so we wanted to say, hey, put in a stop for the next rest area, and that just became problematic because really actually it's closed. So we couldn't.
We saw signs that it was closed.
Right, and Grok didn't really seem to understand the spirit of only a rest area on the route and only if it doesn't slow down your trip. I mean, the whole point of a rest area is it's right there on your route off, and we could have re-explained it again, but at that point we were just done.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, I don't know, anytime we've asked Grok for navigational help on this trip, it hasn't been as smooth as other types of assistance, I think.
Yeah, the concept of I'm going that direction, what's along the route that might be interesting that isn't far off distance. I mean, I don't want to go 100 miles north to see something even if it's fantastic. Right,
it's just the spirit of the whole, and also when we're asking Grok questions, you know, we have this route in, and there's where she put up the parks that were too far away, but it's like, I guess our route is gone again. See, okay, Tesla, I'm breathing. When we ask Grok route questions, we don't want Grok to throw away the current route, and we don't want Grok to change the route unless we say so. So whatever they have done to loosen up assistance with navigation is actually like messing us up all the time. Yeah. We're losing our route and having to put it in again. And, you know, she does ask, do you want me to navigate there or stuff? But it's like she's throwing away the current route. Well, I don't assume I'm throwing away, assume I'm adding to. Unless I say cancel my current route, don't ever cancel it. Because I'm getting tired of having to put Gateway Arch National Park back in and reselect it because it's gotten thrown away, 4 or 5 times today? Right. At least? Right. I don't know. She did good. He did good. You know, Dawn's got Eve. So she did good when we said, you know, please add Moringa Caverns, and got us off the interstate before we went past the exit. Yeah, again, just right. Because Dawn just would have took over, but we were trying not to. So anyway, I had to tell your story about, so Dawn ran in for coffee. Right. The coffee I've got's really my coffee, and it's not Dawn. I meant to get K-Cups for Dawn. A stronger, bolder coffee. Mine is not as bold. And anyway, Dawn says, you can go back there and make me a cup if you want to, but I just go inside and get a cup. And I was feeling a little sleepy, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be okay. You just go get you a cup. And also
baking in the sun.
Yeah, and also, right, it was no shade there, and it's 90 degrees, 91 degrees, and I didn't have the kind of coffee Dawn really likes. So Dawn went in to get coffee. Well, poor Dawn got behind a person that was digging in their purse and counting out pennies to pay for whatever item they had. And both him and then the poor cashier, after she walked away, they gave that knowing look of, oh my God, what was that? Don came out and Eddie told me. And then he almost...
non-Tesla driver, I'll just leave it at that.
You can figure out from the cars I told you about which one when they were driving.
They weren't in an EV, but a non-Tesla driver.
Yeah.
Well, they were in a non-Tesla. Let's rephrase that.
Since I had already gotten myself in trouble by admitting I didn't like being outnumbered at that supercharger, I wasn't going to say that this person is driving a vehicle that costs as much as Ruby, and they're in line for 3 minutes digging in their change purse for a few pennies. Okay, now look, we've all wanted to get the weight out of our purse and use up at the change, but maybe not at a convenience store on a road. I mean, I would at least have already pre-counted it before I went to the counter. I've done that and put it down in front of the girl. Anyway, it was just kind of funny. She was counting her pennies. We don't even have pennies anymore. Don and I did find 2 pennies on the ground this morning. I told him, you got to pick them up for good luck. Yeah. I don't know. There's, the kids try to tell you if they're not facing the right way or something. All pennies are good luck all money found on the ground is fair game and good to me. But anyway, I told Don, you got to pick it up because they're not making pennies anymore. And they were like brand new, shiny.
Oh, they were shiny.
Don said these are the new style pennies.
Yeah, they don't have Lincoln. They have Lincoln on one side,
right? But
it's like a shield.
The shield looking thing on the other side is different. It's not. It's a fancier, upgraded Lincoln Memorial, is what I think it is.
Is that what it is?
Right. Okay. I think it's an updated design of the Lincoln Memorial instead of the one we grew up with.
Okay.
Anyway, we picked them up off the ground, so we've dealt in pennies twice today now.
That's right.
Yeah, poor Don. He's got his coffee now, though, and the story's keeping him awake.
That's right. And the other thing is, to finish this up, of course, we're very close to Illinois. We'll be in Illinois in just a few minutes. And so I guess that's why pennies are still big around here.
Right. Funny. The land of Lincoln.
That's right.
Okay. Well, we had the most confusing conversation with Grok about time zones and what time it is where just a little bit ago. But I think we're sorted out now. We're in Central Time and we're an hour more than Raleigh and we're an hour less than Denver, and life is as expected. Right. I think that's what we determined after, Grok mistakenly told us it was the same time in Raleigh as it was in Indiana, and I'm like, sweetie, honey, that's not possible.
Right.
and she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I did mess that up, didn't I? And I'm like, yeah, and I'm already confused, so don't confuse me more.
Well, they used to not have daylight saving time in Indiana.
Yeah, they just started doing it
2006.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought she said 26, but 2006 makes more sense.
Yeah. Well, it's just in recent memory. I realized 2006 is 20 years ago, but for all us old folk, it seemed like 2006 was last week.
No, I just misunderstood and thought that she answered your question with 2026, but you're right. It was the Illinois state line right there, and that was the smallest, crappiest state line. Welcome. It didn't even say welcome.
Right.
That was crappy. I didn't get it.
That's correct.
It was that tiny.
It was that tiny. That's right. So,
one car prompt.
I guess we're not proud of our state if we're gonna.
Well, they're saving their pennies.
Maybe there's another one coming up, the Welcome Center sign or something,
That is the welcome. That's what that's what they're building or redoing or renovating or whatever.
Something
Is the welcome Illinois Welcome Center.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a little. I want my sign.
Right. Well, we're not going to get to the St. Louis one either, because St. Louis is right there. The river is the border.
Sure. Okay. We just saw our first Cybertruck.
Yep.
Coming in the other direction.
Yeah.
I thought it looked a little bit like rain, so I put up the weather overlay, and it is. But it's not super close to St. Louis yet, but it could. It could. And also, this isn't a time lapse of what it's done. This is a prediction of what it's going to do. So even by 8 p.m., it's not really in St. Louis. I waved, he waved. Wow, we're coming into St. Louis and that's 2 Teslas. We just saw the arch that way for the first time. We're about 7 miles away from it. It's kind of hazy, which I would expect for summer in the city.
There it is again.
But
Hard to see.
oh, it's more in front of us now. The road is shifted. Hey, Grok, give us a brief history of the Gateway Arch in St. Louis.
The Gateway Arch in St. Louis honors westward expansion after the Louisiana Purchase, designed by Eero Saarinen, who won a competition in 1948. Construction began in 1963 and finished 2 years later, opening to the public in 1967.
Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Well, there's some train tracks coming into the city. We've seen 3 lawyer, hire us billboards in, a row almost. It's sort of a little crazy. There you can see it.
Yep.
Say what, Donnie?
I am very pleased that the case and full self-driving knows where we're going, because I have no idea.
Yeah, we put in the address of the hotel and we have no idea exactly, but well, we should be continuing to head toward the arch, and other than that, we don't know.
Yeah.
There's light rail.
Yeah, the
Up
flashing
there.
red light, full self-driving stopped at the flashing red light.
Yep.
Yeah, it is light rail. Yeah. Well, the train station is at the north end
Okay.
of the park, and basically the hotel that we're staying at is like kind of a little across the street and on this other side of the tracks. Anyway. Yeah, well, see, it doesn't look that far away.
Nope. Well, there's our first look at the base of it.
Yeah. It
Shows you just exactly how huge it is. Very.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Washington Monument. The size of it sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
The view from the pool room at the hotel. We're going to take a walk and get something to eat. So we're walking the streets here looking for a burger place called High Point, surprisingly. High Point is the name of a city in North Carolina near Winston-Salem. She also told us maybe Snarf's, but I'm not sure. Now they're open till 8 p.m. But it looks more breakfasty. This is making me dizzy. It's pretty cool.
Thompson Colburn LLP, U.S. Bank Plaza.
How in the world does that hanging basket get water? Or is it silk?
That's an interesting question.
It's real flowers. I can smell the petunia. And it matches the flowers down here too, but it really is real flowers. I can see some they're real. I don't know how they water it. They're just that sure they get enough rain here. We're going to some bar that's open till 1 a.m. that probably has burgers. There's a Tesla. That's convenient. That's kind of funny. They've painted the side of the building to look like something that it's not, although the front of the building does sort of look that way. But we have seen a fair number of Teslas parked on the street. Like 3 or 4 since we started walking. Well, we ended up at Rosalita's Cantina, and it was good. I would eat there again. We had fajitas. It was like the only place with real food in town that was open on a Sunday night.
Yeah, that we could afford it.
Well, yeah, there's plenty of $100 a plate meals, but
No, I just didn't want to spend that kind of money.
yeah. Whoops, I wasn't paying attention.
That's all right.
I was filming. Thank you. You watch out for me, Donnie. That's good.
I would have pulled you back.
We watch out for each other. Yeah, and we walked about a mile to the restaurant. Now we're walking back, getting some steps in. That's good. We're gonna go check out the arch before we go back up to our room.
Try to see go down and see the arch.
Yeah, go down and see the arch at night. Our tickets in the morning are for $10.50. By the time we went and reserved them, the first 3 slots were gone. That's not too late though. We're allowed to keep Case where he's parked until 3 p.m. And the tram ride and the time up in the observation area, it's only like an hour. So we'll be fine to get Case out of the parking lot. We have to get our stuff out by 11, but we have to get out of the parking lot by 3. So it'll work out. All right, we're here to see it at night. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.